Are you interested in earning big money online? Then this video is for you. You will learn one of the most important aspects that you need to know to become successful online. My name is Michael and I make a living online, and I have also helped many other people make money online and start an online business. But I have also seen many people fail, and I have seen one main reason for this, and this is because people do not do it with the right expectations. They are not looking at their goals versus reality and what is actually realistic. So therefore, since so many of you keep asking me about what is realistic, what does it take to become successful online if you want to make a living online, and I'm now going to share that very important aspects you need to know to have a great chance of success online. So the reason I'm making this video is because I recently published another video where I talk about 6 money-making tips if you're a beginner and what you need to do to get started and the right mentality and all that. And I will also leave a link to that below and in the top corner so you can check that out after watching this video, because in that video a part of it is also where I talk about the goals. But a lot of people have then asked about more information about this because it is so important to understand what is realistic and do it with the right expectations. If you understand that one concept and set your goals correctly, you have a way higher chance of success. And as mentioned earlier, I have worked with a lot of people, and the number one reason I see that so many people fail when they try to make money online is because they do not understand this concept. And that's why I wanted to expand on it here so you know exactly what is realistic. I will give you some examples of goals that potentially are realistic and how to set your own goals so you have a greater chance of success. So let's then go into what are realistic goals if you want to start making money online. And here I'm talking about if you're interested in making a living online. I have a lot of other videos if you're just interested in some exercise cast, then you can just check my channel for that. But here I'm talking about if you are really serious about wanting to change your life so you can work online, make a living, even potentially make a really great living online, because that also is possible if you do it correctly. But as mentioned, you need to be realistic. And a very important thing to understand is also if you're not realistic and you have these crazy goals where you expect that you want to start earning $500 per day starting today, and you do not want to spend more than 2 minutes to get started, it's just not realistic. And when you have goals like that, you will end up getting scammed, because there are plenty of scams out there that will tell you that it is possible. There are plenty of other YouTubers that will tell you that it is possible, but they will end up selling you something where you will lose a lot of money, you will waste your time. And I've seen many people do that for years. They spend years chasing these shiny objects, and after 2 or 3 years they have earned nothing. They have seen no results. They've just seen lost money. And whereas other people, they do it realistically, they sit down and they put in time and effort, and then after 2 to 3 years they have a thriving online business. So understand that if you're not realistic, you will just end up getting scammed. So what is realistic goals then? Let's talk about that. So one of the things that I very often ask people when they want to start an online business is, what are your goals? Mainly, what are your income goals? How much would you like to earn, and how much time are you willing to put into this, and are you willing to put any investments into this? These are 3 very important aspects when it comes to making realistic goals. And I can tell you that I've seen some very good and realistic goals. I've seen some that are very ambitious, but nothing wrong with that, because the potential is really unlimited online if you just keep going and keep moving forward. But I've also seen a lot that, for example, come and say like, I would like to earn, let's say $10,000, $20,000 online per month. Definitely realistic to get to that level, definitely. But then where it goes wrong is that they say that I'm willing to spend 1 hour a week or 2 hours a week, for example, and I do not want to invest anything into this at all. Do you see that there's something wrong there? Like, if you were going any other place and you wanted an income, would you go to an employer, for example, or offline, try to start an offline business and say like, okay, I want to start this offline business. I want to put in an hour today and then earn $10,000 this month. Like, you would never do that. Why do people then think that that's possible online? Because it's not. You can definitely reach a very, very high income online. And you can do it with very minimal cost because it's so cheap to start an online business compared to starting a physical business or an offline business. But it will not happen without effort. And realistically, if you want to make a living online by having your own online business, there will be some cost involved. It can be done very cheap. But if you do not have, for example, like let's say $50 per month to put into training and tools, as a minimum, I would say you can do it for that. That's how I started. and it's definitely possible. And then from there it can just grow, but you can keep the cost very low. But if you don't have anything at all, you want to invest, like how are you going to get started? You don't have any tools, you don't have any knowledge, you need to get knowledge. All good education costs money. Online, luckily, you can just find a lot of really great training that is very valuable for very low cost. But of course you need to learn it also, and then you need to put time into learning and applying it, and then you will start earning. So realistic goals would be something like, for example, some people are saying like they would like to earn $5,000 to $10,000 per month. They are willing to put in 10 hours per week, and they are willing to put in let's say $50 per month until they reach that. Then they do it with the right expectations. They know they need to put in effort. They know that the earning potential is there, but they also know that they need some training, they need to support, they need some basic tools to start it. That's realistic. Realistic goals is also if your goal is, for example, to earn $50,000 per month. It is definitely possible online, but of course not if you don't put in time. And just because you're then willing to invest more, that doesn't necessarily mean that you will get to $50,000 per month faster, because what it comes down to is how much time are you willing to put into learning. If you're brand new, you need to learn how to do this the right way. And then, of course, how much time you then put into taking action and making it happen, and keep doing this until you see results, because that's where many people also fail. They think that, okay, then I'm willing to put in, let's say 10 hours per week, but then after 2 weeks, after a month, they say like, oh, it's not working. No, it's not working after a month. No business will give you really great results, thousands of dollars online after a month. That's just also not realistic. So what can you then use all this information for? Well, what you should do is to write down your goals. So if you want to start an online business, say like, okay, for example, I would like to earn $10,000 or $5,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 or $2,000 per month long term. That is my goal. And then you should say like, how much time am I willing to put into this? Because think about it. Let's say your goal is to earn $10,000 per month online. So do you think it would be worth, for example, to put 15 hours per week into this, or 20 or maybe even 30 hours per week into achieving this? I definitely think personally, and I also did this, but when I started, I didn't. I put in like maybe 5, 6, 7 hours per week when I first started. And then when I started getting some earnings so I could scale down on what else I did to earn, then I could put in more hours. And then once you actually start rolling and the business starts coming, then you can actually scale down on the hours again. It gives you a lot of flexibility to work on your own terms. But to get there where you get what is so-called passive income, where you also earn when you sleep, you need to put in a lot of hours to get there. So look at how much time are you willing to put in, and be realistic. If you have family, full-time job and other commitments, be realistic. It's better to put in 3, 4, 5 hours per week than nothing. It will take longer to get results, of course, than if you can put in 10 or 15 hours, of course. But it's better to keep moving forward than being unrealistic and then say like, okay, the first week I'll do 20 hours and then I'll do nothing because I didn't see results. So write that down also. And then also make a budget. If you're brand new, you want to start a real online business, you need to have a budget. And the method that I personally started with and that I used to grow a really great online income, it's even less than $50 per month, where you get all the training, all the support, and all the tools you need to actually start an online business. And also, even if you actually join through an invitation link that I have and through some extra training that I have, you will even get me as a personal mentor and can ask me questions. So I'll leave a link below to more information about that method that I have used to do this and that I recommend if you're serious, if you want to put in time, if you have realistic goals, and if you have at least a little bit of a budget to be able to get proper training to get started. That is my top recommended way to do it. But no matter what, if you want to create an online business, even in other ways that is not the method that I've recommended, because there are many methods that work, then still I would recommend to write down your goals, your budget, and the time you're willing to put into this, and be realistic about it and keep it so you can see it, so you remind yourself whenever you're about to give up, or every week look at it and say like, oh, this is my goal, I need to get there, and to do that I need to put in effort. And not putting in effort and not having realistic goals is the number one reason that I see people fail online when they try to make money. So make sure that you understand this concept of being realistic and having goals and being willing to put in time to see results. If you understand that, you are already way further than many other people that try to make money online. And I hope this video helped you and gave you some inspiration. Remember that I will leave a link below to more information I have about my top recommended way to start an online business if you're interested in going the same route as me. But no matter what, if this video helped you, then please hit the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.